This is Gemara Sanhedrin, Daf Pei Gimel, and we're holding on the bottom of Pei Beis Amid Beis. We like all the learning to be an incredible zchos Rafua Shlema for Tinoik ben Miriam Ahuva b'siyata d'shmaya, the incredible Kayach HaTorah. She continues showing its remarkable powers in continuing, elevating, and giving Tinoik ben Miriam Ahuva a complete Rafua Shlema. We're holding about 20 lines from the bottom, Pei Beis Amid Beis. The two dots in which the Gemara says, Kayin Sheshimish B'Tuma. We're in the middle of listing all the cases in the Mishnah, which in as much as there is a Chiyav Misa, but Bezdin does not facilitate it. And the next case was a Kayin that serves in the Beis Hamikdash B'Tuma. Said the Mishnah is taken out by the Pirchei Kahuna who deliver his death via clubs by breaking open his skull. So Bai Minei Ravacha Baruna Me Rav Shishis. Kayin Sheshimish B'Tuma Chayamisa B'Dei Shamayim Oyein Chayamisa B'Dei Shamayim. What is the halach? Amalei Tnei Tua. I'll bring you a raya. Kayin Sheshimish B'Tuma Einach V'Kan Mivinas Al Bezdin. They do not bring him to Bezdin. Al Perchei Kuna Maitzina Yisei Lazara poised at Moicha Bigazirin. They split open his head. And if you're gonna tell me Mechayev Bidei Shamayim, so what are they doing and pulling him out and beating him up? Lishavke Delecto Bidei Shamayim. Leave him like every other Chayev Bidei Shamayim. Seemingly, says the Gemara, from the fact that the Mishnah taught us that the Pirchei Kuna take matters into their own hands, that itself is indicative that the halach is that he is not chayiv b'dei shamayim. Continues the Gemara, Elamai no chayiv. So what does the Mishnah mean when it says Elamai no chayiv? You're going to tell me then that the halacha is that this person is koyin shimish b'toma is not chayiv. Mika midi d'rachmana patre v'ran neka v'nektale. How could that be? That also makes no sense, says the Gemara. Could it be that Hashem says he's potter and we go out and we kill him? Says Gemara, really? Is that so shvar v'loi? We saw in the previous Mishnah, someone who got Malchus numerous times, Rachmana Patri, Vanan Katalina, we put him into the cell and we let him die. Answers the Gemara, Amar Rav Yirmiyah Rishlak Malchus Shal Krisus. Over there we explain, we're talking about Krisus Askina, the Gavra Bar Katal, who is a dead person. So says the Gemara, in a case in which Bezdin is going to kill someone, must be the person was indeed Chayim Misa. Says the Gemara, okay, I'll ask you another kasha. We learned in the Mishnah, someone who steals one of the kelim, the klishares, the halacha was kanayim, paigim, even though he's not Chayim Misa. Answers Gemara, Rav Yehuda, b'klishares, askina. We're talking about Klishar is a remiza level there as kebelas like Kodesh Vameisu. So we see is Chayim Misa. We're going through the whole list of the Mishnah. V'amakalas hakoisim, someone who curses. V'varech haKadosh Baruch Hu via this witchcraft intermediary. Rav Yosef Yaakov Bizkois in the Mechzik V'varech Hashem. That's why. V'abayelas akusis. Says Gemara, Rav Kana b'chamli retimijim, v'adachri Rav ligamri, and Rav remembered. So says the Gemara, indeed in each and every case, the person is indeed chayev misa. So says the Gemara, to answer or ask, I shall say on Rav Shishas, who said that this koyin sheshimish b'toma is not really chayev misa. Eisvei asked the Gemara 2 lines from the bottom. Hayoytzik va'aboylel va'aboytis hamoleach haminev hamagish hamisader es hashulchan. Says the Mishnah, your yoytzik, you pour the shemen on the carbon mincha. Haboylel, you mix it, poites, you break it into pieces. Malech, you salt it, if you wave it, magish, you bring it, misader hashulchan. You put the breads on the shulchan, meitiv saneirus, you light the meneira. HaKoimetz, you remove the kemitza from the mincha. V'amekabel damim, you catch the blood of a carbon bachotz. In any of these cases, you do it outside of the Beis Hamikdash pater, ve'ein chayavim alav, and you're not chayav on it. We turn over to Begimel Amud Aleph and explains the Gemara, you're not chayav on it, loy mishom zaros. not because you're a zar. That, as the top Rashi says, a zar that does one of these inside the base of Chayim Isa. Mevatim avodah matan v'shin avodah tama v'lei avodah shisha acharel avodah. And all of these are part avodah. So unique halacha, you do a part avodah. You're not Chayim Isa. V'lei mishum tama, not if a kohen is tame. V'lei mishum b'chosur begadim, not if he's not wearing the appropriate vestments. V'lei mishum rachas yidayim v'raglayim, and not if he did not wash his hands and his legs. So says the Gemara, let's bring a rai. Here's a list of all these cases in which he did a partial avodah, hamaktir, but if he did a concluding avodah, he did a hakdara, he burnt the carbon, my love, that in that such case, that indeed, misa, he would yes be chayim misa, says Merlai, ba'azhara. The Mishnah means he's chayev azara, a warning of the Torah. Says the Gemara, Elazar, Nami Lazara. Are you going to tell me the same thing as by Azar, Vaksiv? But the Torah says, Azar Karev, you must. Says the Torah, that Azar that does any of these avodas, you must, has to be put to death. Answers the Gemara, no Raya. Hakadisa, Vakadisa. We'll split up the cases between Azar and a Kayin who's Tomei. Ask the Gemara, Mechlal, Tiyotzik Ubailel, Lav Nami. It sounds Lav Nami Loy. It sounds like if you mix the carbon, you pour the oil, it's not even a Lav. Tanya Azar Liyotzik Ubailel Minayin Tamalemer Kidashta Kedoshim you, Lechalu. Answers the Gemara, you're right. Midrabanan, it's really din Dirabanan who cross Machta Ba'alma. Meisve, ask the Gemara in Rav Sheshes. These are the ones that are chayim misa v'dei shamayim. Tamesh shimesh. We see a clear, explicit brayso. A kohen that's tamesh shimesh is chayim misa. Says the Gemara. Tiyofta. Indeed, this is a good kasha on Rav Sheshes. As we see clearly, indeed, a kohen that is tameh that performs the avodah is yes chayim misa. Now that we got to the bottom of the halacha of a kohen sheshimesh, says the Gemara 12 lines down, the two dots, kufa. Ve'elu shebemisa. Says the Braisa, these are the ones who are chayim misa b'dei shamayim. Ha'echel es tevel, one who eats tevel. Ve'kohen tamei shachal shuma tahira. V'zar shachal es shuma, a non-kohen who eats shuma. V'zar sheshimesh, he worships the base of Mikdash. V'toymesh sheshimesh, t'ol yom sheshimesh. Or mechasher begadim, he's not wearing the appropriate clothing. Mechasher kapara, doesn't have the right of kapara. Shlarachas yadayim v'raglayim, mishtu yayin, he's drunk. Kupuri roish, he's growing out his hair. Aval arel. But if a kohen is an arel, he didn't get a bris milah, or an oinen, a relative died, v'yoshev, einon v'yoshev, or he sits while performing the avodah, einon b'misa el bazar. Those are not chayim misa, it's just a laugh. Balmom, what if a kohen's balmom? Rabbi Misa Chamayim Rim Azar. Says the Gemara, he said b'mi'ila. If he purposely committed mi'ila, Rabbi Misa v'chachamim Rim Bazar. Ha'eichel es ha'tevel minalin. So that was the whole brayso. Now that we have the whole brayso, we go a little bit deeper. Ha'eichel es ha'tevel minalin. Where do we know? He's chayim misa b'dei shamayim. Damar shmo misham rav lazim minayin lo'ichel es ha'tevel shu b'misa dechsev. Says the pasuk lechalu as kadshi b'nei Yisrael as sheyarimu laHashem. From here we learn out ba'asidim litroi ma'kosim medaber, that which in the future truma will be separated, which shows us we're talking about tevel, and we see that truma was not separated yet. V'yalev chilul chilum ni truma, learn out chilul from truma. Malahalam b'misa afkan b'misa. Says the Gemara, so we're learning Zera Shava. But I asked the Gemara, maybe we should learn from Neisar that what? Malahalam b'kares afkan b'kares. Ask the Gemara, how do you know that the appropriate limud is to learn that there is chiyamisa, maybe it is kares? Answers the Gemara. Mistavra mi truma havle lemelev shkin truma chutza la'aretz hutra adrab. Excuse me. Noiser avle lemelef. Why? Shekain psul oichel. No, I skipped. Stavra mitzuma avle lemelef. Why? Shekain truma chutz la'aretz. Because truma does not apply in chutz la'aretz. So hutra, therefore, there's no iser. Berabim. Peirais pigol noiser. So says the Gemara. 1 second. What do you mean? Adrabah. Mi noiser avle lemelef. Shekain pasal oichel. There's the similarity in that regard. It says Mahanach Nafishin. And this is always difficult whenever we're trying to weigh which way to learn from A or from B. We want to have a more similar Hanach. These are Nafishin, more similarities. Says the Gemara, Vinam, our second Tarat Chilul Derabim, Michilul Derabim, Adif, that level of connection, the fact that it's Berabim, that is a higher level of connection. Says the Gemara, let's go into the next halacha in the Brisa. Koyin tamel shachal truma tahira min Allah, namar shmu aminay, and the koyin tamel shachal b'truma tahira shehu b'misa b'dei shemayim dechsev. How do you know it's chayim misa b'dei shemayim b'truma tahira shamu es mishmar tivlo solav chay b'gomer tahira in temei Allah. Even we hold it's only tahira, but not if he's temeya. Damar Shmuel Amar Eliezer Minayin Lekoyin Tami Shachol Truma Tameya Sheinoi B'Misa. If he's Tami and the Truma is Tami, how do we know he does not get Misa Shnamer Meisu Bai Ki Yechalilua Parat? As we turn over to Bei Gimel Beis, it explains the Gemara that it comes to exclude Luzu Shebechuleles V'Imedis. So ironically, if there's two issues piling atop each other, he is Tami and the food is Tami, then there will not be a Chiev Misa. Continues the Gemara with the next case in the Brisa. If Zarshachal is that Shuma, non-Kayin needs Shuma, the second line. Pegim Lamed Beis, Amarav Zarshachal is that Shuma, like a Gatzal, because I'm the Rav Kana. For Ravas, Ila Rav Lema Marvin Misa. You just said you get Malchus. Lema Marvin Misa. Why do you not get Misa? Tachsev says the Torah Chazar Li'echal Kodesh. Answers Rav, Ani Hashem Mikadishtem. Mikadsham, Hifsek Inyan, splits up Inyan. Meisvei, ask the Gemara, it says explicitly. B'mastita, the Rav Karamis. Rav Tanu Polik famously says the Gemara, true, you have a Mishnah, however, you cannot ask from a Mishnah on Rav, because Rav is a Tanu Polik. Rav's allowed to argue on the Mishnahis. And we go to the next case. You must, therefore, you should see that he's chayiv misa. Rav Yosef, as Rav Chia Baravin, as from Rav Yosef, Minayin l'tam shemei shu b'misach sev dabra b'nei Aram al b'nav v'yinazru mikadshah b'nei Yisrael v'lechalu Hashem kadshi v'yalchalachol mitshuma has a similar limba to what we saw in Amar Aleph, the same Gzeira Shava, learning from Shuma. Malam l'misav kam v'misav v'ne'alchalachol mitnoyser, the same kasha. Malam l'karis av kan karis. Mistar mitshuma avle l'mil v'oish kin kuf tamei mikva b'rabim. Says Moed Adar mitnoyser avle l'mil kin kodesh panim pigol v'noyser. Answers well chaldram ma'adav, similar terrace that we had a moment ago. It's more comparable when it's a level of chilul dirabim. Continues the Gemara Tvul Yom Sheshimesh. The next case in the Brisa, if a kohen goes to the mikvah and he's waiting for the sun to set, so he's the status of Tvul Yom, and he is Mishamish in the Beis Hamikdash. He's serving the Beis Hamikdash. We said his Chaim Yisrael the Shemayim in the last narrow line Minolan. From where do we know this? The Tanya of Sima Yomer Remez Tvul Yom Shema Avad Chilul Minayin. Where do we see a remez that a Tvul Yom makes the avodah possible? Tamalemer Kadoshim Yuli Lo Yehem. We already learned that out. Today we're in the Tvul Yom Sheshimesh. Yalchol made Shuma Malam b'Misa Avkam b'Misa, the same Gzeira Shava. U'machosar begad in the next case, a kohen that serves out wearing the appropriate clothing. Minalan Amar Rav Amar Rav Yechon Matuba Mishmeid Rav Elazar Rav Shemin, says the Torah. They're wearing their clothing, their kunas and them. If they're not wearing their clothing, ain't kunas aleim. Is b'misa. And finally, a few small Gemaras here. All these cases are a Chiyav Misa Bidei Shamayim Tahira Mechlal Shitamev Amar Tar Shashime Shamisa. We know that one. Upure Roish. תכסב ראשון לא יגלחו, פרה לא ישלחו, כסב עשרי, ולאי לא ישתו, ישכי פרו ראש, לשתו ים משתו ים מיסה, פרי ראש ומיסה, all different Xera Shavas, teaching us this whole list, they're all Chayav Misa, if they are serving in these ways which are Asar. Pick it up from here, B'siyata Dishmai.